She comes only when it rains. Hook. Whenever it rains, she stands outside my window, smiling, bent, dead. I learned long ago not to scream, not to run, not to wipe the fog from the glass. Because the moment I acknowledge her, she steps closer. And tonight, the rain hasn't stopped. Scene 1. The first rain. I used to love the rain. It felt like the world pausing. Cars slowing down, people hiding indoors, the sky finally allowed to cry. On the night she first appeared, rain tapped gently against my window like impatient fingers. I was half asleep, scrolling mindlessly, when I felt it. That weight. The feeling that someone was standing just beyond the glass. I looked up. There she was. A woman stood outside my second-floor window, which should have been impossible. Her long hair clung to her face, soaked and heavy. Rainwater slid down her cheeks like tears she never wiped away. She wore a pale dress, torn at the hem, plastered to her thin body. And she was smiling. Not a happy smile. Not a cruel one.
A familiar smile.
Like she knew me. I froze. My heart hammered so loud I was sure she could hear it through the glass. Lightning flashed. For a split second, her eyes were empty. Not dark. Not shadowed. Empty. Then the power went out. And when it came back, she was gone. Scene 2. The name I buried. The next morning, I convinced myself it was a dream. Stress. Sleep paralysis. An overactive imagination. Until I found the wet footprints beneath my window. They led nowhere. I avoided rain after that. Checked weather forecasts obsessively. If clouds gathered, I stayed out. If rain surprised me, I hid in rooms without windows. Weeks passed. Then one evening, a storm arrived without warning. Thunder cracked like the sky breaking apart. I felt it again. That weight. Slowly I turned. She was back.
Closer this time.
Her face clearer. And that's when I recognized her.
Sarah.
The name hit me like a punch to the chest.
No, iwisparat. Her lip.
Scene 3. Our last night. Sarah and I grew up together. Childhood friends. Neighbors. Something more that never had the courage to become love. She loved the rain. She used to drag me outside during storms, laughing, spinning under the downpour like the world couldn't touch her. Rain washes pain away, she'd say. On our last night, it rained harder than I'd ever seen. We argued. About leaving. About staying. About things we never said out loud. She stood by the road, rain soaking her hair, tears mixing with the storm. "I'll wait," she said, just like always. I turned away. Headlights screamed. Metal collided. And I didn't look back. Scene 4. Guilt has a face. The police called it an accident. Wrong place. Wrong time. They said she died instantly. But I knew better. Because when she smiled at me from outside my window, it was the same smile she wore while waiting in the rain. Waiting for me. Thunder shook the room. Her hand pressed against the glass. Water ran down, tracing the shape of her fingers.
Top, top, top.
"Why are you here?" I cried. Her mouth opened slowly. "Because you never came back." The rain intensified, and the window cracked. Scene 5. The rules of the rain. I learned the rules too late. She only appears when it rains. She cannot enter unless invited. She grows closer the longer you look at her. And she hates being ignored, but hates being remembered even more. Every storm, she returned. Sometimes smiling, sometimes crying, sometimes staring at me with a hollow rage that made my knees buckle. Once, she wrote something on the glass. With rain, with blood. Come out. I stopped sleeping, stopped answering calls. The sound of rain, once soothing, now felt like a countdown. Scene 6. The apology she waited for. One night, the rain was relentless. Flood warnings. Sirens. The sky ripping itself apart. She stood so close her breath fogged the glass from outside. Her face was no longer beautiful. Her skin sagged, unnaturally. Her neck bent at an angle no living body could hold. But her eyes, they were still hers.
I'm sorry, Sabt.
I should have stayed. I should have. The window shattered. Cold rain poured into my room. She stepped inside. The air smelled of wet earth and decay. She reached out, her fingers icy, trembling. I waited, she whispered. I waited until the rain filled my lungs. Her touch burned. Scene 7. Truth of the Rain Ghost. She wasn't here for revenge. She was here for release. Rain didn't wash pain away. It preserved it. Every storm replayed her final moments, waiting, hoping, drowning in both rain and betrayal. You can't stay, I whispered. She smiled sadly. I never wanted to. Thunder roared. She pressed her forehead to mine.
Cold.
Heavy.
Real.
Remember me, she said. But don't trap me here. The rain slowed. Her body began to dissolve, melting into water, into mist, into nothing. Before she vanished, she whispered, next time it rains, don't look. Scene 8. The final rain. Months passed. I moved. New city. New apartment. No windows facing the street. I almost believed it was over. Then, tonight, it started raining. Soft at first, then heavier. I sit in darkness, hands over my ears, heart racing. A familiar weight fills the room. Behind me, a voice. Gentle.
Vet.
Just one last look. I don't turn around, because I know, whenever it rains, she comes. And someday, I will look back.